All right, now look, today I'm finna show y'all how to make Maryland cream of crab soup. Now, first things first, I need to get something off my chest. If you are watching somebody's recipe and they call it creamy crab soup, get off on their page because they don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what a creamy crab is. It is cream of crab soup. Number two, if you see them putting cheese in it, get off their page. Cheese does not belong in every damn thing that we consume. Let's get to the ingredients. Now, for the purpose of today's video, I am only going to be using 1 pound of lump crab meat. When I make this for guests, I use 1 pound of lump and 1 pound of extra lump, but I was not about to do all of that for y'all. So when you make it, get 1 pound of lump and 1 pound of extra lump, okay? You're going to need heavy whipping cream, half and half. Dry sherry. Now, if you cannot find a good dry sherry, you can 100% use the sherry cooking wine. That's completely fine. This is just going to add a little bit more depth of flavor. You're going to need 1 medium-sized shallot, 2 bay leaves. You're going to need enough garlic to mince down to end up to be about 1 tablespoon. About 2 to 3 tablespoons of salted butter. I have 2.5 cups of seafood stock, MSG. Now, look, listen here. I'm not about to keep arguing with y'all about this MSG situation. Y'all are eating more MSG in your day-to-day life than what you realize. And most cream of crab soups, my babies, have it in there and you just don't know it. Old Bay seasoning, white pepper, ground nutmeg, and Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. You see that? You see that? You see that? Don't ask me for the damn ingredient list. Come on, child, I'm hungry. All right, y'all, so while I'm mincing up these onions, let me just say something really quick. Whether you choose to use white onion, sweet onion, the shallots like I'm using, which to me just has way more flavor, you've got to make sure that you mince them up very, very small. You do not want gigantic chunks of onion in your cream of crab soup. It should be so small that they don't even realize it's in there. The purpose of the onions and the garlic is to add flavor, not to be chomping down on it. So you need to make sure that you do the exact same thing to the garlic as well. Chop it down real, real small. I'll be back. And I'm sure that most of y'all do this, but if not, shame on you. But you see that? Cut that off before y'all chop up your garlic. You don't want that. All right, so we have everything prepped and ready to go. Like I said, I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of salted butter. I have my 1 medium-sized shallot that's been finely minced. I have my minced garlic, which is averaging to about 1 tablespoon, and my 2 bay leaves. The first thing we're going to add to the pot is both the butter and the shallots. We're going to hold off on the garlic for just a few moments. Does anybody else love the smell of shallots cooking in butter? It's just something about it. My God. Allow that to cook for about a minute. Now that my onions are super fragrant, I'm going to go on ahead and add in that delicious garlic and allow that to cook for an additional minute. Remember, make sure your heat is not up too high. You don't want to burn your garlic. And as always, it wouldn't be a TY video if I did not forget a damn ingredient in the intro. You're going to need some of this premium Better Than Bouillon lobster base. We're going to put in 1 tablespoon. This right here is going to add so much flavor to your cream of crab soup. Give that a mix as well. 1 teaspoon of the Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. You know what? Don't worry about it, child. I'm just forgetting every damn thing today. A few dashes of Worcestershire and 1 tablespoon of flour. Remember, do not have the heat up too high. You want to cook this off for roughly about a minute or so to cook off that raw flour taste. And before we add any of the liquid to the pot, you want to add in just a pinch, and I mean a pinch of that ground nutmeg. You want that to toast up, so that's the reason why you want to add that in before you add in any of the liquid. We're now going to add in a splash of that sherry, just like so. Now you can go on ahead and add in your seafood stock and whisk that together. While we're waiting for this to come up to a simmer, we're going to go in with a dash of white pepper. 2 dashes is good. Remember, we are working with salted butter, so we're only going to go in with a 1/2 tablespoon of the Old Bay because I like to top the soup off with Old Bay at the end. And 1/4 teaspoon of the MSG. Bring all of this up to a simmer. The pot is slowly about to start to come up to a simmer, so I'm now going to go in with 1 cup of the 1/2 and 1/4 cup of the heavy whipping cream. You can now also go on ahead and add in your bay leaves. Again, allow all of this to come up to a simmer. Not boiling, simmer. My God, on today. I haven't even put the damn crab meat in here and this already smells delicious. I've allowed this to simmer for about 10 minutes. And the reason for that is you're pretty much rehydrating the bay leaves and kind of letting that infuse it. We're going to take the bay leaves out before we add in the crab meat. And once again, you guys, when you make this recipe, make sure that you add in 2 pounds of crab meat. A combination of claw meat and extra lump is totally fine. You just want to make sure that you have 2 different sizes in here, because typically what happens is when you go to restaurants and you get in cream of crab soup, they're only using claw meat for the most part. And if you are lucky enough to get it with extra lump, they're going to charge you a lot of money. So you want to make sure that you have a lot of crab meat in this. Again, for the purpose of today's video, I'm only going to put in 1 pound because I'm the only one eating this today. But when you guys make it, make sure that you put in 2 pounds. If your pot starts to boil, turn the heat down. You do not want this to boil. Alrighty, the bay leaves have served its purpose. I'm going to go on ahead and remove those out of the pot. And now we can go on ahead and add in the delicious crab meat. I have now turned my heat all the way on low. At this point, the soup is done. All you're doing is heating the meat through. So just go on ahead and add that in there, and you're going to very gently. Now, first of all, get your asses out of the damn pot. Now, how dare you? How dare you try to sneak back in the pot? Bastards. Get your ass out of here. Anyway, very gently, allow that crab meat to break up. My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't understand. You don't get it. Oh my God. Just allow it to break up. Allow it to break up. Oh my God. And for me, y'all, this is perfect. I did not add in any additional Old Bay to this at all, because I always top the bowl off with extra Old Bay. So you don't want the base of it to be too salty. But my God, on today, that pinch of nutmeg, the Dijon mustard, using that really good sherry wine. If you want yours thicker than this, by all means, you can use a little bit of cornstarch to thicken it up. I like the consistency like this. I like it to be soup. I don't want it to be like a chowder. I don't want it to feel like I'm having to chew too hard. So this is the perfect consistency for me. But once again, once the meat is heated through, the soup is done. You can turn the heat off completely. There's no need to continue to let it cook. Oh, child, let's go in for a taste test. And that right there, my friends, is how I make my cream of crab soup. Just look at it. Look at that. Look at that. My God. Let's go in for a taste test, shall we? Here we go. Shabba. Honey, I can make cream of crab soup in my sleep. I've made it probably about 1,000 times, so. I already knew what time it was. Follow this recipe to a T. Because your boy is from Maryland and he knows what he's doing.